I think the easiest way to describe the feeling that you have when you're a child in your first bike, or even any time you're riding a bicycle as a child, is you feel the same today when you ride a bike. You still feel that exhilaration of being by yourself, doing something on your own, enjoying Mother Nature. My name is Steve Carter. I'm the past commander of the Wheelin, which is a national organization of antique bicycles. We preserve and restore bicycles from the first 100 years of cycling. My earliest clear memory is when I was standing in front of a Western auto store, looking in the window at a beautiful new bicycle. I wanted it, and my parents, not being rich and wanting to teach me a lesson, told me I needed to work for it. About the third time I stood in front of this window, a man came out from the Western auto store, happened to be the owner. He asked me if I wanted to get the bike. Of course I wanted it, and he said that he was looking for a delivery person. And at the end of the summer, I will have earned the bicycle. And that sounded great to me, so that's exactly what I did. And from that time on, I had that new bicycle, and I cherished it and took care of it. And I couldn't bring it in the house because even though I tried many times, my mother just wouldn't allow that. We are caretakers of these bicycles while they're in our presence. We must preserve them. We should, at all possible ways, pass them on to the next generation in equal or better condition than we received them, or in the case of restoration, I try to restore them exactly the way they came out of the factory. What is a bicycle if it doesn't have a crank arm and a pedal on it? The very first bicycles did not. The person that rode them straddled a piece of wood with a wheel in front and behind and walked along. About 1860, someone put it all together, and all of a sudden, here we have a crank arm and a pedal on a bicycle where you keep your feet off the ground all the time. We still today have crank arms and pedals. It's exactly the same. Bikes are much lighter, made out of different materials, but in essence, we haven't changed a lot over 100 years. Bicycling was such a craze. They call it the golden age of cycling from the 1890s up to about 1900, and it's because there was so much designed around cycling that it was what everyone wanted to do. If you didn't have a bicycle, you just weren't part of the scene. What we look at today is we call a high wheel today was actually called an ordinary, or in America sometimes called the wheel. Great-great-granddad would have said, I'm going to go out and get on the wheel and wheeling around, as they say. One wheel is 18 inches, that's the back wheel. The other wheel is the length that is appropriate for your leg length. The interesting part about the seat is that they could not convert that type of a seat to a safety bicycle or a bicycle like we have today. The ordinaries had a pant guard to keep your pants from touching the wheel and getting dirty. On the ordinary, you'll see handle grip that is very similar to a spade handle, a shovel handle. Balance isn't really a big issue for us. We're kind of used to that. But then you have that step to get up to. I think there's no question the bike can hold its own for a long period of time, just because if we look at the history of bicycling, how it's gone back 100 years from now, I think we're going to see bicycles with still having diamond frames. We may have some type of material that they're made of we don't even know about today, but I believe we'll still be pedaling them with our legs, and we'll still be steering them with our hands, and we'll still be sitting on a comfortable or less comfortable or more comfortable seat, who knows. But we'll still be on bicycles. They'll still have a place. To me, it's not just the freedom of getting out there on the road. It gives me a time to think, to reflect. I'm probably one of the most common people around, and yet I feel like sometimes when I'm on the bike, I am the great thinker, because I can remember some of the things that I've done on the bicycles that bring back smiles, and to think of the things I haven't done yet, but I intend to. I plan the future while I'm out riding